It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 here on Tampa Bay's 1250 Wins WHNZ. Video stream available over at tampabayradio.com. Thanks to my trusty producer, Josh Voss, always keeping it down there. Josh, good morning to you. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, Jamie. How about yourself?
Doing good. Got announced that I made the Wall Street Journal list again last week for the 2015-16 year.
Nice.
Coming in at number 37 there. It's in my intro that I've been on the Wall Street Journal list for homes sold. So, yeah, came in at number 37 homes sold in the past year. So, pretty proud about that. Also, a fellow worker, our co-worker, teammate, Christina Griffin, who has a team now, the Griffin Group. She came in number 52 for team units as well. So she's doing the team thing. I'm doing the individual thing. But together we're selling lots of real estate.
Yeah, geez, man. I mean, I've done absolutely nothing with my life so far. So thanks for making me feel like $1 million.
You've done plenty. You've done plenty. Don't sell yourself short here. You're in here every morning helping out the radio show and doing a good job. So
yeah,
definitely
that's what
appreciate
I do,
that. So keep in mind, though, I'm not just a radio show host. I am a real estate agent. So if I can help you buying or selling homes in the Tampa Bay region, please reach out to me, tampabayradio.com. I have a contact form over there. Shoot me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. And we need some inventory out there. It's getting pretty tough out there for buyers, especially under $200,000. So you might be surprised what you get for your home right now. So reach out to me. I've sold about 1,600 homes now in the last 9 years in the Tampa Bay region. So definitely a resource to help you get your home sold. And I work with a Coldwell Banker over in South Tampa. So we utilize all the best marketing techniques. You can get your home on over 500 different websites and showcase listings and upgraded listings and all the different websites. Real important when you list a home with a real estate professional that you use a top name brand. It's all right to use who you like when you're buying a home, but when you're selling a home, you got to have a brand that can expose the home to the broad marketplace as well as the international marketplace. So I always recommend a major national brand whenever you're selling your home. Not so much necessarily when you're buying a home, use who you're comfortable with, but when you're selling a home, definitely want somebody with a broad reach, and Coldwell Banker definitely has that. So enough of the real estate talk, enough about me. We got Dr. Chris Pittman here in studio today, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. You can learn more about him throughout the discussion, vein911.com, or give his office a call at 855-VEIN-911. Dr. Pittman, welcome back to the program today.
Jamie, always a pleasure. Fantastic to be here, and congratulations on the real estate recognition in the Wall Street Journal. That's truly awesome.
Incredible.
Thank you. And so you specialize in vein care for people, and there are a number of different symptoms that go on with different vein care. I mean, myself, I think of varicose veins whenever I think of vein care, but there are a number of different conditions that are affected by vein disorders. So let's run through those and give me some of the symptoms of each of them.
Well, there are a lot of symptoms, and I almost cringe when I tell people I fix and treat varicose veins, because nearly half of people may not have a bulging varicosity and still have lifestyle limiting symptoms like pain, aching, burning, itching, throbbing, fatigue, swelling, heaviness. Can I keep going? Itching.
And this is just varicose veins.
Restless
correct?
legs, skin discoloration, bleeding veins, and ulcers. And that's kind of the progression. And yes, it's chronic venous insufficiency, but that's about as complicated as what I do, which is interventional radiology.
See, I always thought varicose veins were just a cosmetic disorder. They're just unsightly, but there is a little bit of a risk to non-treatment of them, correct?
It is definitely a medical disease process. It's heredity, number one, pregnancy, number two, are the two biggest causes. So it's the only disease caused by parents and children. It's kind of a joke. But it's true. It's very rampant out there. In the USA, there's about 80 million people. Nearly 40% of people have some kind of medical vein disease problem in their lifetimes. And 80% of what we do is medical.
So the different vein disorders that you treat on a regular basis, you have varicose veins, you have spider veins, and then you have restless leg syndrome, and then you have swollen ankles. And what are some of the other conditions that are related to vein disorders that I did not name?
Night cramps, sometimes just skin discoloration. People will see kind of a fine rusty discoloration near their ankles, or on the inside of the ankles, they may see a cluster of spider veins, and that's it. Okay, and they don't realize that their symptoms they may be having, some of which I've just mentioned, are actually from undiagnosed, untreated vein disease, because chronic venous insufficiency is a fancy word for just leaking veins. And veins are supposed to take blood back to the heart,
right.
And there are valves that keep blood from going the wrong way, and when those valves go bad, the blood just trickles the wrong way. So the two analogies I make are leak in the attic, flood in the basement. What we tend to see and feel is below the knee, but the problems tend to be above the knee where the leaks in the valves are. The other analogy is a waterfall. At the bottom of every waterfall is a beautiful pool, but in humans it's swelling, skin changes, skin discoloration, heaviness, pain, all those things.
Cankles.
Exactly, you got it. Sometimes people think they have cankles, now that you mention that, Josh, and I'll put an ultrasound on them, and I can see swelling. I mean, an ultrasound is much more sensitive for swelling than just looking at somebody. Conversely, some people don't think they have swollen ankles. I'll put an ultrasound on them. I mean, skinny, twig-like legs. I'll put an ultrasound on them, and I can detect swelling.
Now, does vein disorders get down into the feet also, or is the foot completely different area of disorders?
I would say, in general, the symptoms are limited to the leg, although I will say this. If it is not a normal part of the aging process to have swollen feet and ankles, and there's a number of patients who have to change shoe sizes. And again, some of these folks are gorgeous ladies, great-looking legs. They might have a few spider veins here and there, but at night they change shoe sizes. I mean, I have a real patient, several patients like this, where they have two sets of shoes, two different sizes, one for the morning, one for the evening.
Why? Because in the evening the foot has swollen throughout the day?
Oh, well, isn't that from wearing high heels all day long? I mean, can't that cause some swelling?
Well, that's very perceptive of you, Josh, but there's two things I'm never going to tell.
I mean, my feet kill me by the end of the night, I'm just saying.
There's two things I never tell ladies. I'm not going to tell them not to cross their legs and not wear high heels. That's bad for them, and that's bad for the guys.
I'll drink to that.
But let me answer that scientifically. There's no medical evidence that crossing your legs causes a vein problem or spider veins. I will tell you that doing this for a very, very long time, that there's probably a small contribution to spider veins from crossing your legs, but that's not a reason not to cross your legs. It's such a minor contributor. The reason high heels aren't great for vein disease but don't actually cause vein disease is because you're walking around on your tippy toes, Josh, and it does not allow...
Working out my calves, leave me alone.
Well, actually, that's the problem, is it doesn't allow the calf to flex. And we don't realize it, but we actually have three hearts. That's a very provocative statement, but it's true. We have a heart in our chest, and we have one in each of our calves. And the only thing that's moving blood out of our legs is our calf muscle pump. When you walk, when you flex your foot,
I know that.
when you simply just do a little ballerina action with your feet, you're pumping massive amounts of blood out of your leg. That's why occupations that stand a lot have such a problem, like cosmetologists or hairdressers, teachers, servers, nurses. We see a ton of these people, or anyone who's just standing around, because that blood is just pooling.
Yep.
And
just
so people
stagnant.
who are in high heels, to bring this back around, they're just not flexing their calf muscle pump. So what I tell ladies that wear a lot of high heels and they have a vein problem is I say, just point your toes every once in a while. You don't have to do it with resistance. You can simply just, flex that calf in the air and move massive amount of blood out of your legs.
Interesting topic there. I never heard of that.
It's also why they tell you in the beginning of your workout week that you should start with legs, because it gets the blood flowing a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Can obesity and inactivity factor into vein disease? or cause it?
Well, sure. It's not a major cause. I would say, again, I'll run through them. Major cause is heredity. You can eat right and exercise till you're blue in the face and still have bad veins. We've treated professional athletes, bodybuilders, Pilates instructors. Number 2, pregnancy. Number 3, occupations, and we covered some of those. Number 4, I'd put in there aging and obesity.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a contribute.
But it's not as prominent as somebody might think.
It's not as prominent as somebody might think because it's mostly heredity. Now, it doesn't help, but obesity is a part of it. And then the last cause I would put in there is trauma. Some people, they played football, soccer, they get kicked in the legs and so on, and that can damage a vein valve.
Now, can people just use creams on varicose veins or spider veins instead of going to, and we'll get in this next segment, your treatment methods for these, but can people get rid of these through just basic creams that are on the market?
Expletive deleted, no.
I mean, is there anything that even markets for that, though?
It blows me away, guys, because I go on to YouTube, and there's like 1 million hits on get rid of your varicose veins with this cream and this herb. Boy, if it were that easy,
so
I'd have been doling that out a long time ago.
You get a free T-shirt when you sign up for it, too.
Absolutely not. I mean, this is, no.
So the short answer is just no. I mean, they're out there on the market.
There is some evidence that horse chestnut can, help improve some symptoms. I believe niacin also a little bit. But at the end of the day, our minimally invasive treatments are a heck of a lot more effective. And I know we're going to talk mostly about symptoms today, but let me just get the treatment out of the way. Everything we do is non-surgical. No one's ever hit us, cussed, or left, or not come back for a second leg. So our treatments are extremely well tolerated.
All right. We'll discuss more about the symptoms and touch a little bit more on his treatment methods over at Vein 911. Again, he uses non-surgical techniques versus the old school techniques of where they go in and do the vein stripping surgeries and stuff. So definitely want to visit vein911.com for more information or give their office a call, 855-VEIN-911. And again, Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Heavy traffic on northbound I-75 between I-4 and Fowler. Usually we have delays in the southbound direction, but today in the northbound direction, right lane closed due to some construction work. And also we've got slow traffic on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway between Gunn Highway and Waters Avenue. Construction delays in Pinellas County once again this morning. Southbound McMullen Booth at State Road 580. Only the right lane open here. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 90. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 78. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And also learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. In studio, Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Visit Vein911.com for more information or give their office a call at 855-VEIN-911. And real quick before we continue, Dr. Pittman, where are you located at in Tampa?
Our main office is literally behind St. Joseph's Women's Hospital and less than a block away from St. Joe's Hospital.
Okay, so you're centrally located there in Tampa,
central.
Very accessible here in the Tampa Bay region. So, again, if you're having issues with varicose veins, spider veins, and maybe some issues that you may not even think are related to vein disorders in the legs, like night cramps and ankle swelling, got to look up Dr. Pittman. So what are some of the other symptoms that are going on inside somebody's legs that could be a symptom of a vein disorder?
The two entities that a lot of people don't associate with vein disease are restless legs and night cramps. And I won't get into all the science behind that, but vein care is a relatively new area in medicine. It was recognized as a new specialty by the American Medical Association in 2005. There was a certification exam first administered in 2008. I was one of the first 200 to do that. There's still only about 700 board-certified venous and lymphatic medicine doctors in the United States. There is a lot of vein care going on out there. Do your homework. Make sure you find someone who's doing this all day, every day, and not just once a week or once a month. Anyway, you go to my website. Even my homepage will show you a lot of distinguishing factors. But to get back to the restless legs and night cramps, there is a strong association with vein disease. And again, you do not have to have a bulging varicosity to be suffering lifestyle-limiting vein disease. I could get into all the details of that. But there is a segment of the population where we treat them, get rid of their restless legs and night cramps, and they have incredible improvements in their well-being and their energy levels. And I had a South Tampa lady featured in a national women's magazine just about 8 weeks ago called First for Women. It was not an advertorial. It was, they found my patient who, it really had revolutionized her life. There are many patients like this because these restless legs and night cramps are actually interfering with people's sleep. If it's enough to kind of bother you at night, it's enough to keep you from getting a restful night's sleep.
So what is going on with restless legs? As sometimes I've laid
Jimmy
down
legs?
the Jimmy legs, yes, made famous by Seinfeld. But sometimes I've laid down at night and I've had that urge to kind of just keep moving my legs. But it's very uncommon for me. But what's going on? Is it like a tickling feeling? Is it just an urge to keep moving? What's going on?
There are a number. There's a number of different symptoms that kind of qualify as restless legs. Some people, their partners will complain because they're getting kicked all night long, and they don't even realize
something they're doing
it.
in their sleep then? Because I've done it like a few times just laying in bed, but it's because I think I'm just overly energized before I go to bed.
It's in their sleep. Sometimes their partners will complain about it, and again, it's interfering with their sleep because they're not quite getting a restful night's sleep from it. Some people get creepy crawlies in the evening after work. There's a whole myriad of symptoms, like worms under the skin.
Is any of this painful?
It's not painful, and it sounds crazy. You see the advertisements on TV for Requip or medicine, that you take every day to get rid of your restless legs. But I'll tell you, 90% of the folks that have restless legs and vein disease get better and is cured when we treat them.
Honestly, until I met Dr. Pittman, I thought your restless legs, a.k.a. the Jimmy legs, was kind of just like an urban myth or something made famous by the Seinfeld or something. I thought it was just kind of a
nerve
joke.
damage or something.
But it's a legitimate cause.
I have to tell you, even as a physician, watching that commercial on TV, I'm like, really? Restless legs? But it really bothers the people that are suffering from it. It really interferes with their lifestyle. And
anything that interferes with your sleep is going to throw you through a loop anyway.
Exactly, and that's the connection we're only now starting to make. And there's vein research that shows that. Although I've known that for many years, just treating as many patients as I have. But these patients will get re-energized. They'll lose weight. They'll go off antidepressants, and I'm not exaggerating. It can be a life-changing thing to have your silly vein disease treated.
Is restless legs strictly something that occurs at night? Can you get restless legs, while you're in the office? Or is this just a nighttime thing?
It is typically an evening or nighttime.
When the rest of the body is rested, maybe?
Yeah. Here's another thing that just came out in the literature within the last 6 weeks. Vein disease will make you weaker in the legs. There's evidence that it will make you weaker not only in the legs but the thighs. There's evidence for that now. So there's a lot of guys out there. It's a genetic thing. Guys have vein disease about as much as the ladies do, but they wait till their legs fall off before they see me. Some guys think it's cool to have bulging varicosities and macho, but I can tell you, you've got
in your arms.
If you've got bulging varicosities, you have symptoms, and it's interfering in some way.
And it affects
with your lifestyle.
It affects men versus women all the same, correct?
It's genetic. So some ladies think, oh well, my mom didn't have varicose veins, so I'm okay. Well, no, Dad might have had them.
Interesting.
So you can get them from both sides of the family.
Yeah, I know my father had them, and he went through the traditional surgery, the vein stripping, and he was very dissatisfied with it. He still has them and stuff.
Every time you say that, I think of spaghetti being pulled off the plate.
That's essentially what they were doing.
Gross.
So, but Dr. Pittman utilizes a non-surgical technique for the removal of these varicose veins and spider veins, and also can get rid of those night cramps and ankle swelling and some other issues you may not even be aware of that are related to vein disorders. So we'll cover that in a little bit more. He's going to be with me for the second half of today's program too. So again, visit vein911.com. And again, talking to Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. We'll be back in a moment.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Between Gun Highway and Waters, the northbound side of the Howard Franklin Bridge, slow from Midspan over to West Shore. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Never thought of yourself as a hero? That's what you'll be for a child in poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. To find out how you can release a child from poverty right now, go to compassion.com/radio.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. High today up around 90 degrees, 50% chance of showers and storms, increasing clouds throughout the day. Overnight lows mid-70s. Forecast the same over the next few days. Rain chance could be just a touch lower, closer to 40%. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Learn more about this program over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, keep in mind the partnership between the radio show and the Tampa Bay Business Owners, an 8-year-old brand of business owners founded by Chris and Katie Kremitzos. We're now working hand in hand to support one another, and so if you'd like to learn more about that and how to become a member, visit tbbo.org. A lot of different events going on each and every month. The next big event coming up on July 6th is a main event at the Center Club from 5 to 7:30. It's entitled, Yes, Your Business Can Afford Healthcare for Your Employees. It's a presentation with Dr. Eric J. Kroll, owner of My DPC Doc Family Medicine. So it'll be a good discussion on how you can get healthcare for your business. And you can learn more at tbbo.org/events. And if you would like to attend that, be sure to message me and say that you heard it on the radio show, as that is a member-only event. So Jamie at TampaBayRadio.com, or use the contact form, again, over at TampaBayRadio.com. In studio, talking to Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Learn more at vein911.com, or give their office a call at 855-VEIN-911. You make it easy there at the Vein 911 brand. It really stands out, doesn't it?
It's very easy to remember, and unfortunately some people think it's scary and kind of an emergency, but we really haven't gone with the brand as much as we'd like. But basically for some ladies, which are most of our patients, a vein problem can be an emergency. They got a cruise to go on, they got a wedding to go to, they got a reunion to go to.
Now, I know the men are getting in there, too. I mean, what's the makeup of women versus men that actually come to see you? Those at 70-30, a 60-40?
I'm going to say it's about 20% men, 25% men, to about 75% ladies. But actually, the name Vein 911 is a little bit deeper. It's a call to urgent patient and physician education on the health effects of vein disease.
So another
that's
issue.
That's what Vein 911 represents.
Now, you gave us a great tip there off the air. I want to share this with the audience here. But proper sitting can influence the symptoms both negatively and positively depending on how you're sitting. So share with the audience how this works.
Yes, I think your listeners can take advantage of this instantly, and I have this conversation in the exam room daily. But everybody sits too darn high, okay? we're actually supposed to sit on our butts, and most people sit on their thighs. And so when you sit down, your knees should be about a half-inch higher than your hips. So we're supposed to sit on our butt bones, but most people are sitting on their thighs. And a lot of people of every age now are sitting in front of computers, for hours on end. And when you're not sitting properly and you're compressing your thighs, you're compressing the veins in your leg and also your lymphatics. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about lymphatics later. But when you're doing that, it's going to cause vein symptoms over time. And I've had many patients who, by just adjusting the way that they sit, they are going to feel better, and sometimes within hours or days. So one of the litmus tests is you take any piece of paper, any 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you put it under your thigh while you're sitting down, right behind your knee, and if you can't pull out that piece of paper without tearing it, you're sitting too darn high. And the same goes for cars. A lot of people spend hours in their cars, like real estate agents like you. And you need to sit like a gangster and not a bus driver.
But you're going to be on your thighs if you're all the way back against the seat, right? It's almost impossible not to be on your thighs, like in a car, correct?
Just take that piece of paper, put it right behind your knee, or right behind your calf, and right under your thigh. If you cannot pull it out, you are sitting too gosh darn high.
I wonder if Jamie is just worried about too much hangage under there.
And I would add, I think if you had any race car drivers, they would tell you most people sit too far away from the steering wheel. You should have a little bit of a gaposis or a space between your lower thigh and the seat.
You ever seen those guys though, man? They're like 120 pounds and 5'2".
Yeah, no. When you start to get to like our size, the stomach starts to kind of interfere with that a little bit. The stomach starts to push us back a little bit.
I'm about to install that like little handle on the steering wheel. So
like on the forklift, like back in the day.
A little bit easier.
I used to drive forklift. Go ahead.
So most of your listeners are saying, well, heck, if I adjust my chair properly, I'm going to be sitting too low, and so on and so forth. So most chairs are about form and not function, and you can keep them at the same height. Just find something to put under your feet. So I'm going to repeat that again. You can leave your chair where it is, but just put something under your feet so that
like a small apple box or something.
Anything at all. And if you look at some of these,
I like how for those watching the stream, if you're watching, you can see Doc. He keeps looking at my chair as he's explaining all this, like I'm the perfect bad example.
And so, but if you look at some of these anchors on TV, and they close up, you'll see their feet are on a pedestal.
And so that just helps the legs then to drain properly, both the veins and the lymphatic system?
Correct.
Okay, and you touched on another, and that leads into lymphedema, another area that you treat with the veins and lymphatic system. Explain lymphedema and how you handle this.
Yeah, without getting into a medical school discussion, there are three circulatory systems: arteries, which take blood away from the heart; veins take blood to the heart; and then the third and neglected one is the lymphatic system. So believe it or not, we're constantly leaking fluid or watery-like substance from our cells and our circulatory system, and this lymphatic system is a fine network that I'm going to talk about the legs here today that's thread-like. I mean, they're literally the size of threads, and they absorb this fluid and dump it back into the venous system. But these lymphatics can go bad from a number of reasons, but I'm going to focus on just vein disease. So advanced vein disease, or sometimes even just mild vein disease, can damage these lymphatics, cause them to block off, and cause swelling. The thing about lymphatic problems and lymphatic swelling is we can't fix it. We can only manage it. And so once someone's vein disease, secondary lymphedema is basically lymphedema that's caused by vein disease, and we see a lot of this. And so you don't want to wait for your vein disease to get too advanced, because it's going to lead to swelling that just we'll improve it, but we're not going to make it perfect.
Are the symptoms one and the same in the legs with regard to a vein disorder versus a lymph system disorder?
Lymphedema or lymph-related stuff is generally you're going to see some skin changes. You're going to get leathery skin. So people that can reach down right now, and if you've got some chronic swelling or swelling that's been there for a while, and your skin is a little bit rusty colored or red, or leathery in a different texture than the rest of your skin, you already have advanced lymphedema. So lymphedema or lymph problems are primarily swelling. Okay, that's what's going to be the main symptom with a lymph problem. And so our strategy with those patients is we fix the vein disease, which we can, which is going to improve their swelling, but they're going to have some residual swelling that's left over that at that point we can manage. And I won't get into all the different ways that we do that, but a lot of that's neglected by my colleagues. Give them a water pill. Oh, don't worry about that. Oh, elevate your legs and you'll be fine. But there's a lot of things that we can actively do to help with that swelling beyond a water pill and elevation.
How do blood clots tie into these different systems? I've had some friends I know I grew up with that suffered from blood clots, and they would get them in their legs sometimes, and they would just blow their legs up, and they were in such pain. Is that a lymphatic system disorder?
That is not a lymphatic system problem. That is a venous system problem. And very briefly, there's two sets of veins in the legs. The important ones are in the middle of your leg in the muscle. Those are called the deep veins. The ones that I'm treating in general are superficial veins, or veins just under the skin. So we can get rid of those veins. Actually, the strategy in vein care is to get rid of the bad veins. And so a lot of patients ask me, well, what are you going to do if you get rid of these veins? Well, 98% of your blood's taken back by the veins in the middle of the leg, the deep veins. So we do see some folks with what's called post-thrombotic syndrome, and I see them in their 20s, in their 30s. If you've had a blood clot in the leg, in the deep veins, that's caused swelling, those are the kind of blood clots we think about when we think about blood clots that break off, go to the lungs, cause a pulmonary embolism. Anyway, I do see those patients. They're a special set of patients. They're going to need lifelong surveillance, and we're just specialists with dealing with that.
Okay, so those types of issues are dealing with the interior veins, ones
Correct.
the deep muscle veins, and the stuff that you're treating primarily are the exterior veins, ones that are on the peripherals.
Or ones right under the skin.
Okay.
Exactly. Now, sometimes we see patients with both entities, and then I was quoting some research about how vein disease actually is causing weakness in the legs of people. There's actually some new research that we don't even know how to deal with yet, showing that people with venous insufficiency in their superficial veins do have an increased risk of blood clots. And we kind of surmise that, but there's a definite increase. It's not large, I wouldn't panic. If it were a big association, I think we would have known that years ago and been much more aggressive about treating varicose veins. But there is definitely an increased risk of the more serious deep vein blood clots if you have superficial venous insufficiency and or varicose veins.
So we've mentioned a couple of times your non-surgical technique for treatment of, problem veins. So let's touch on this. How do you go in and treat varicose veins and spider veins and all the other disorders versus the traditional surgeon?
Well, appreciate that. There is no role for surgery in vein care. I know that's provocative, but it's true. Jamie's been talking about vein stripping, which really should not be done anymore.
Sounds like something out of a horror movie like Clive Barker or something.
It is, as a matter of fact. I'm an interventional radiologist. We do everything through tiny little needle holes, or what we call keyhole surgery. The way we treat veins is with thermal ablation, which is with heat using laser, and a combination of foam, ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy, or a chemical injection through a tiny needle. Again, no one's ever hit us custer left for anything that we do. If you don't get ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy as part of your vein treatment, you almost always will be undertreated. And I want everybody to hear this. 1 out of 5, nearly 20 to 25% of the patients we see in the office, new patients, have been previously treated with these amazing, miraculous new treatments. The problem is thermal ablation with radiofrequency or laser is never a standalone procedure. It's not enough. The laser procedures only get rid of the trunk veins, and there's lots of branches coming off of these trunk veins. And if you leave those branch veins behind, it leads to incomplete medical outcomes and even worse cosmetic outcomes. So we're able to deal with those branches non-surgically using ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy, and that's just something that is uncommonly done by vein care practitioners.
And it's because you're in a whole separate field. You're an interventional radiologist versus a traditionally trained surgeon, and so your field founded this technology then, correct?
In general, yes, that is correct.
Well, on behalf of everybody on this planet, thanks for taking us out of the medieval age.
Let me take a break here. Currently talking to Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Learn more at vein911.com or give them a call, 855-VEIN-911. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Doctor Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts and preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Doctor Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Doctor Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Doctor Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Doctor Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedoctorwhisperer.com. where they write your prescription for success.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Heavy delays on northbound I-75 from Dr. King up through Fowler Avenue. That's due to construction in the right-hand lane where there was a hole in the road just before Fowler Avenue. Also, we're seeing delays on the Howard Franklin Bridge midspan into the West Shore area. Also, a crash in St. Pete, Tyrone Boulevard and Park Street, and one in downtown Clearwater on Drew and Myrtle. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, Udork, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship, pass it on, from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 90. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 78. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 here on Tampa Bay's 1250 Wins WHNZ. Also, video stream available over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, we put all the shows up on my YouTube channel, so I'd like to ask the listeners that follow the show if you would please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We would greatly appreciate that. That's over at youtube.com/Jamie Maloney. So again, thank you to all the listeners who check into this program each and every morning. Currently talking to Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Again, learn more at vein911.com. So Dr. Pittman, how did you find the vein care industry as a medical professional?
Well, as an interventional radiologist, which anybody know what that is?
I do now.
Hands.
I have, yeah.
Isn't that what David Banner was before he turned into the Hulk?
Exactly. I am the incredible Dr. Hulk. Interventional radiologists, we're radiologists by training, so we're experts in imaging, and we use that imaging to do keyhole surgery or minimally invasive surgery. And so my specialty invented stents, angioplasty, laser closure, varicose veins, all those neat clot-busting procedures that you hear about, including stroke intervention. But we tend to be hospital-based, and other specialties have adopted our techniques, including cardiology and vascular surgery. So I've been in the venous system my entire 25-year career, but I got specifically focused in superficial vein disease about a decade ago. And it's been a ton of fun because I'm able to use my skills on a lot more people, because it is a genetic illness, and so I'm able to treat friends, family, people from all strata of life. Typically arterial disease, which I've treated a lot of with stents and angioplasty, tends to be patients that are more on the self-abuse side, with smoking, diabetes, and some other things, high cholesterol, or just not living properly. So I'm able to bring my skills to a lot more people in the vein realm. I've never had more professional satisfaction than what I'm able to do in vein care, because many times we're not only making people feel better, but look better, and that's just a lot of fun.
It's a lot easier to practice when you're in the vein care industry rather than the common medical industry too, right?
Well, it's interesting that you would say that. Actually,
with insurance and all of that,
it has its own issues, because a lot of the payers and insurance companies sometimes don't think vein disease can be lifestyle limiting, although it is. But actually, the patients that I see in the outpatient realm, you have to be a lot more on your toes and a lot better, as a matter of fact. And higher performing than even in the hospital, I would say. So we're able to do that. You can bring me the fussiest South Tampa lady. We're going to keep her happy, not only medically, but cosmetically. You know what I'm talking about.
Peggy Bundy is doing backflips.
So anyway, you really have to be at the top of your game to be able to take care of a lot of the kind of patients that I take care of.
Now, you're also very involved in the medical community. You're involved in a lot of organizations. You go out and do a lot of speaking. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in the community outside of just general practice.
Yes, indeed. I'm past president of the Hillsborough County Medical Association. I know a lot of fantastic doctors in the county and the Bay Area. I am also president of the Florida Medical Association's Political Action Committee. We just had a meeting at the International Hotel, Renaissance Hotel, this weekend, where I hosted Mayor Bob Buckhorn and had some political heavyweights from both the Republican and Democrat parties. I am also the Health Information Technology subject matter expert for the Florida Medical Association, and I sit on the board of 2 health information technology startup companies. I represent the American College of Phlebology, which is venous and lymphatic medicine. Basically, I represent them at the American Medical Association as a delegate, And I'm also on the executive committee of their American College of Phlebology Foundation Board. And I'm privileged to know and associate with luminary or expert vein physicians from all over the country and all over the world, in fact.
So how's the demand then been from the community since you've opened up Vein 911? You mentioned that a lot of interventional radiologists are hospital-based, and not so many of them, have, standalone buildings such as yourselves, or people can come in and out of, outside of a hospital setting. What's it been like since, opening up the business as an entrepreneur?
Well, it's been fantastic. We ramped up slowly. For several years, I was the medical equivalent of a Starbucks and a Barnes & Noble. I was co-located with The Woman's Group. It's a very well-known OBGYN practice, 4 offices. They see about 300 ladies a day. And
you didn't call your employees baristas, did you?
No. But I could do a lot of shameless self-promotion, but the easiest thing to say is I was the only guy in a 100-woman practice called The Woman's Group, and we had to earn our way in there, and we stayed there nearly 5 years. And the plan was always to break out of there, and we were able to do that about 6 months ago. So we now have our own offices because we were much too big to be a Starbucks at that point. So the response has been fantastic. Again, people who do their homework come see me. They drive hundreds of miles. Some come from other states, even other countries, to get their care at Vein 911.
Have you written or are you writing any books talking about the procedures that you perform?
I was recently invited to post a blog at Florida Blue, or Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, which is Florida's largest commercial payer, and my first post was, what is the best way to treat varicose veins? So if you go to my website, you can see a link there, or you can Google what's the best way, Florida Blue, and I talk about my treatment methods. Again, that was quite an honor for an insurance company to offer me to do that blog. I've also been in the Florida Blue centers in the Bay Area to speak to their subscribers and their patients for 2 years in a row, so I'm pretty proud of that. I am a contributor on a Healthy Legs book, which is a publication of the American College of Phlebology in 2012. There's more information on that at my website because I'm a recovering detail guy, assistant professor at University of South Florida, and I got a ton of details at my website. My best patient is the most informed patient.
Good information from Dr. Chris Pittman. Thank you so much for being in studio again.
It's been fun. Thanks a bunch.
And again, Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Visit vein911.com for more information or give their office a call at 855-VEIN-911. Learn more about this program at tampabayradio.com, and we'll be back in a moment.